and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole, and today we are talking about the Diablo 2 Resurrected Alpha. What you were seeing here in the background is, by the way, me streaming the game. We have done so over the weekend and also on Monday, and now the technical alpha for Diablo 2 has ended, and it's time to talk about the game, and most importantly, is it worth the $40? That is the big question I see quite a bit. Is it really worth the $40 I have to pay? And the answer is, it depends. It really, really depends. Now, there are a few things we have to discuss here. Before we go into the if, how, whom, we have to lay out some ground rules. Because, well, this is Diablo 2 you are getting here. And when I say that, I mean that. There is no, like, new gameplay changes to it. Like, it is exactly like you remember it. It's the same game, the same content, the same balance, like nothing has been done. Well, that's not quite right. There has been some small changes, mostly some upgrades for quality of life, like now you are picking up money automatically if you desire to do so. You can change it back if you don't want to. You can also see me, by the way, changing between the graphics a bit, which I'm doing here on the fly, which is kind of cool. But going back to the quality of life changes, like they added gold, they added a share tab, they added some other smaller features, but they didn't do any balance changes. They didn't add any gameplay. Or, well, depending on when you stop playing Diablo 2, because believe it or not, after Diablo 2 got its last big content patch and World of Warcraft took over, a few years after that, Diablo 2 came back. They actually did another big content round for Diablo 2 when Diablo 3 was announced. They basically removed the Mephisto runs. They also removed the cow runs. You don't really do them anymore. The cow level is still there, but you don't really do runs in it anymore. They removed the blood runs. You are now doing Baal runs, and you are now doing like the Uber runs for like all the Uber characters. And they did definitely some changes, and they also did like a lot of balance changes and skill changes because Blizzard took over from Blizzard North, who was the original creator of Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, and Blizzard decided things have to change for the better or for the worse, depending on who you ask. But no matter, they changed stuff. So if you might have not played since the last big content patch, you might be a little bit confused about certain balance things you remember differently, or certain boss farm points, like as I said, Mephisto. Most people remember the Mephisto runs, but the Mephisto runs are not really the thing anymore because they don't really give you the loot anymore. So yeah, they definitely made some changes there for the better or the worse, depending on who you ask, really. But the point is that everything else is the same. The same acts, the same enemies, the same classes, the same skill, like literally nothing has changed. Now, when we talk about the graphics, they are of course absolute fantastic. Like it just looks great. You can play the first and second act in Diablo 2 Resurrected, and it looks so much better. I mean, sure, it's a 20-year-old game, so things should look a little bit better, you know? So they do, and that is great. That is absolutely fantastic. They even made some changes on how some of the levels look alike. When you remember the first area in the game, which is the Den of Evil, it was really just a cave, right? It was a cave with monsters in it. And now what they added is just putting some tents in there, making it look like that maybe some people or some thieves or something like that has been living in that den before then the monsters came in and murdered them all. You have this a lot in the towers, the dungeons, and even like some areas they're putting like houses behind fences where you cannot go. Again, It's not like they added something new to the map. It's just something which is happening in the background. Or they have some cards in the background, some more forests. Like, it looks more like a living and breathing place, which is fantastic. But that's it. That's literally it. And yeah, they made the interface a little bit better and stuff. So again, a lot of like quality of life improvements and some nice additions to the graphics here and there, and it looks really fantastic. Like, even the equipment looks so much better if you compare like some of the uniques and set items you get. Like, there were sometimes just different colored items in Diablo 2, and now they actually gave them some models. They actually made them look good, and that's great. But now that begs the question, who should play Diablo 2 Resurrected? For whom does it make sense to pay $40? That is the big question. And it's not easy to answer. It really depends. I would say there are 3 categories right now. There is the number 1 category, which clearly has never played Diablo 2. If you have completely missed out on Diablo 2 and this is your first time you want to experience this game, then I would say for you, the $40 is worth it. Again, it looks fantastic. The gameplay is still alrightish. Of course, I have to add that some of the gameplay elements didn't age as well as you might remember them. Like, leveling can be quite tedious because, well, you can't really respec, and some of the builds you want to run only unlock at level 30, and till level 30 you have to run around with a subpar build because you cannot just easily respec. I know there is a once per character respec they added at some point in the game, but it's not really the same thing as just you can do in Path of Exile or like in Grim Dawn or some other games, or even Diablo 3, right? Like, yeah, respecking is not as easy, and that is definitely something which I feel like doesn't hold up. Or not the problem that you can respec, but you have to run subpar builds before you can actually get to the build you want to. And even in Path of Exile, where you do something similar, it's not the same. Like, even the skills you are getting, even the talents you are preparing for the actual build are doing something. They are supporting you, and it's not subpar. Well, in Diablo 2 it definitely is. And there are a few things. There are a few things which just don't feel too great anymore in 2021. But if you want to see what all the hype is about, why people love Diablo 2 so much, but you always said no thanks because the graphic looks like, well, as they look like right here on my screen, then this is the perfect time to jump in and to experience this again. So again, if you've never played Diablo 2, you want to know what this is all about, and you plan to do like a whole playthrough and even need a little bit of like action RPG in your life, then this is the right time to do it. And I would say yes, for you, the $40 are absolutely worth it. Now let's talk about the second category. People who have played this game before, but only briefly, or they haven't thought about Diablo 2 in ages, and they want to play with their friends again. They want to play with their new friends who maybe have never played this game, right? If you have a reason, an actual reason to come back to Diablo 2, then I would say yes, Resurrected is also very interesting for you. Again, especially if you want to play with somebody else who hasn't played Diablo 2 yet, or you really need that nostalgia itch and you think, man, I would love to do some battle runs again. I would love to do a whole playthrough, putting in maybe hundreds of hours again. Then yes, this game is worth the $40. Now let's talk about the third category, and you probably already know what I will say here. And that's the people who already put hundreds, if not thousands of hours into Diablo 2. And you want more than just a little graphic update. Like, you left Diablo 2 not because of the graphics, but because you were done with the gameplay. You wanted something else, like Path of Exile, like Diablo 3, like Grim Dawn, or you were looking forward to any other action RPG out there. Then this game is not worth your money. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, after this weekend, I played this game. I felt like I had enough. Like, that nostalgia itch got scratched, and I now feel like I'm done with it. I will not invest the $40 into Diablo 2 Resurrected if I'm not like having some friends who want to play this, or like somebody who hasn't played this before needs some help or something like that. Then maybe I would do it. But just for me personally, no, I would not pay the $40, because I have hundreds, I think even thousands of hours in Diablo 2, and I left it behind, not for the graphics necessarily, but just other games came out which were more interesting for me, who had more content, who got cared for more, right? That's the reason why I also moved away from Diablo 3, because I had the feeling that this game is not getting the love anymore, and that they are just action RPGs out there who get the love and who are still being updated on a regular basis, and so on and so forth, which is completely fine. I mean, again, Diablo 2 is 20 years old, or even when I left, it was already like 6 years old, and Blizzard had everything to do with World of Warcraft. So it's not like I'm blaming them. It's just that things moved on, and I moved with them. So does it mean I need Diablo 2 again, just with better graphics? Now that I have played the alpha? No, I don't. I think I'm good when it comes to Diablo 2, and if you are in that similar position where you just think, do I need a Diablo 2 graphic update? Or do I really want to play it for the gameplay again? That is the decision you have to make. If it is for the gameplay, if it is to play with friends or family or whatever, cool. If it really is just for the graphic updates, but you always felt you were done with Diablo 2, you will probably be done with this after a few hours. That was at least the feeling I got. So with that said, that is it from me. TLDR, you've never played this game? You want to know what the hype is about? Yeah, I think it's worth the $40. Or if you want to play with your friends, or you really enjoyed the gameplay and you really just needed a graphic upgrade, then yeah, this game is delivering exactly on that. But if you had already hundreds and thousands of hours, you moved away because of the gameplay, and you were just done with the game, then a graphic update will not change that. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like. And also, if you're new to the channel and you want to see more gaming opinions, guides, we are also doing a lot of react videos to new trailers. We are watching gaming shows live. Please don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to catch me live, you find me at trovo.live/ChaosMole. Yes, I'm not on Twitch. I might be a Twitch partner, that I am, but I have left Twitch behind a long time ago, for multiple reasons. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.